Hey everyone, I'm Tsunami. Welcome to my new video. Today we will check out liquid watercolors. I've never used liquid watercolors before, so I'm quite curious. We are testing two brands today. The Schmincke Aqua drops. They are liquid, pigmented based, highly light fast watercolors. You can get them in 24 transparent colors and one opaque white. They are cadmium free. They are available in 30 milliliter plastic pipette bottles and as aqua drop liners with a brush tip. This is interesting. I've never heard of it. Then we test the Talens Ecoline liquid watercolors. On a lot of websites they are called liquid watercolor inks. I bought them as liquid watercolors, but this is a hint for us how they will behave. We will talk about this later. They are dye-based watercolor ink. They are available in 60 bright colors. They comes in glass bottles with pipettes. They exactly should matches the colors in the Ecoline brush pens. I will swatch them first in my Etchr Sketchbook with hot-pressed cotton watercolor paper. We will mix a bit and then paint with them, so we can compare both products and see the differences. First, I will swatch the Schmincke Aqua drops. We have to shake them first so the fine pigments can spread in the liquid. This is lemon yellow and it's so intense. I guess you don't need a lot of this paint. This is interesting. Next color is magenta. Oh wow, I love it. Let's mix them. Ooh, what a nice orange. Next one is cyan and indigo. I wanted to have lemon yellow, magenta and cyan for mixing. Indigo is a must-have for me. Love it to mix as well and use it for darks and shadows. Look at this beautiful indigo. I have to compare it to my Horadam indigo. Let's make a few mixes. What I can already say is that these paints are very high pigmented. The colors are so intense and you don't need a lot to get an area filled on your paper, and it's very easy to use. With these two blues, I can mix awesome greens and look at the violets. Are you interested in how to mix colors video? I think this is an interesting topic to talk about. Write it in the comments if you would like to watch a video like that. There would be a lot more mixes possible, but this is too much for today's video. The Schmincke Aqua drops work like normal watercolors, I think. I would say there is a benefit, I will tell you later. Now let's test out the Talens Ecoline liquid watercolors. I picked this nice grass green, beautiful. Let's try them directly on the paper. This is bluish green. They already look a bit different to the Schmincke. I like the even application. Next color is sky blue light. On the cam, you can hardly see a difference, but it is. Next is mahogany and it's so beautiful. I love this color. Next is gold ochre, also very beautiful. Let's do a few mixes. On this point where we are in this video, I tried them before I read all the informations about the pigments and so on. I like to get to know my new paints in a playful way. The Ecolines already felt more like an ink, like a watercolor, so I tested if I can lift up the pigments. The Schmincke Aqua drops were easy to lift up. They are like a normal, not staining watercolor. It will be easy to work with them like with my Schmincke Horadam. The Ecoline were very hard to lift. It was not really possible. These are staining paints. They definitely feel more like inks. What is also awesome. I really like them. as they are. It will be also interesting to make little paintings with them. I will make one only with the Schmincke Aqua drops and one only with the Ecolines, and then a third one where I will use both. I think I will use the leftovers in my palette for it. We have one more benefit from liquid watercolors, beside the fact that you get your paint in the perfect liquid form, what is easy for beginners, I would say, and what makes color mixing more comfortable. Second very nice thing is you can use a glass dip pen or another dip pen to draw with them. This is awesome. I ordered this nice glass dip pen and this is my first time using it. I'm so excited and it works perfect. Imagine what possibilities this brings to you for your watercolor paintings. I'm thinking about a finish drawn with the glass dip pen or more texture. This is awesome. You can combine your liquid watercolors with your regular watercolors, of course. This is so inspiring, I think. I love to have this option now. And this glass dip pen can hold a lot of paint. I'm so excited about this pen right now. So let's get started with the test paintings. First, wet and wet for the backgrounds. I will start with the Schmincke Aqua drops. After a few fast sketches with a color erase pencil from Prismacolor. This is also the first time for me I'm using liquid watercolors, so I will just try them out in my flow today. But in the end, there's a lot more I would like to test out with them. I will take you with me and share my findings with you, of course, in the future. All of this is a process, like every time if I have new art supplies. It takes longer than a sketchbook session to get to know them. What I also want to test out is to create more backgrounds only in dropping the colors on the paper and let them flow into each other. But this is something for another sketchbook session. Now the background with the Ecolines. Ooh, it flows beautiful on the wet paper. Because I felt not very safe with inks yet, the Ecolines first made me struggling a bit. I have to make a better plan and work a bit faster with them because they are staining more like ink. Perhaps they are in the end, I don't know, but after this first struggle, I love to work with them. I love the glazing effects you can do with them. That means layering watered down transparent paint over another. In between, the layers have to dry, of course. This is how I mostly slowly build up my watercolor paintings. And with the Ecoline liquid watercolors, this is just a joy doing this. Later, I will paint a complete glazing layer on top. I will tell you when this is happening. I enjoyed them a lot. So, last background, I will use leftovers from both brands here and mix them together, just playing around with them. It's nice to see that you can also mix them together and use them together, even if they behave a bit different. First, I thought there is a lot of leftovers in my palette. Perhaps more waste than if you paint with regular watercolors. But in the end, I changed my mind. I used only tiny drops here out of these bottles. This is such a tiny amount of paint and it's so high pigmented that there is a leftover. But this describes how less you need and you can't get a half drop out of this pipette, of course. And 30 milliliter are a lot if you think about how less you need. All the leftovers after the sketchbook session I will use for backgrounds in my other sketchbook. Think about how your palette would look after a painting with regular watercolors. So there is no difference, I would say. So these backgrounds have to dry now. We will come back later. Hey, I'm back. I will paint the one with the Schmincke Aqua drops first. They are so high pigmented. A tiny drop lasts so long in my palette. You can work with them like with regular watercolors. They are easy to mix. So what's the difference between dye-based and pigment-based liquid watercolors? Pigment-based liquid watercolors has the pigments in a liquid, like a fine pigment powder, suspended in liquid, not completely dissolved. The pigments can be lifted much easier. They are non-staining. Dye-based liquid watercolor have the color completely dissolved into a solution. These paints are staining. I will use the leftovers for my piece here. It's interesting how both brands mix together. This also has to dry. Now the one with the Ecolines. I love the softness of the dried paint here. It has a different vibe. I enjoy to work with them a lot. As I said before, they are more like inks. I haven't worked with inks a lot yet. I have to say, I love it. I should definitely explore more of these Ecoline liquid watercolors and in the ink direction. Perhaps compare these Ecolines with other inks. If there is a difference, because these are still called watercolors, there's a lot more to explore. I really love this cute motif and the colors, but I want to try out something a bit crazy. I will make a wash all over it in this turquoise blue. These are staining paints. It should work, and I wanted to see how the colors mix in layering. This could ruin everything, but this is a sketchbook and I'm curious, so let's do this. I'm taking a lot of water. I only want a soft wash. I'm excited. Okay, this gives an awesome light effect. I'm curious how it looks when it's dry. Let's go on over here with the leftover. Everything dried overnight. Look at the softness here after the wash. It looks awesome. I will finish this one with colored pencils on the left. I don't know yet. I will play around perhaps with Neocolor too. And on this one, because I'm in an experimenting mood, I will use the glass dip pen for details and outlines in the Schmincke Aqua drop piece. Let's try out how the glass dip pen works in this piece with liquid watercolors. This works perfect, but I will create more deepness here with the brush. I'm not sure about this piece. I love the aqua drops, but this motif feels a bit chaotic, I don't know. And I'm not sure if it gets better the more I'm doing here. Okay, then I will use colored pencils here. I really like how this cute piece came out, and I love the paints and the colors I used. Then this one. I will layer with the Neocolor too. So this was it. I enjoyed these liquid watercolors a lot. It's a perfect addition to my normal watercolors. I will use the Schmincke Aqua drops with my Schmincke watercolors together in the future. I will play with them a lot more and I will find out what else is possible with them. It's an awesome product. And these Talens Ecoline liquid watercolors are just awesome. I love them. I will experiment a lot more with them and I will definitely compare them to my Winsor Newton inks I have here in my cupboard and never used. If you are interested in such a video, then tell me in the comments. In the end, I have to say these two products are very different to each other. The Schmincke Aqua drops are exactly like watercolor and are nice to have on top of your normal watercolors. Easy to use for beginners because they are easy to mix. You can use them with a dip pen and yes, I like them. The Ecolines are more like inks and are so smooth and nice. I just love them and I would love to have more of them. Perhaps in combination with the Aqua markers. They should have the same dye-based liquid in it and this would be very interesting. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was as interesting to you as to me while using and experimenting with my new paints. If you still have any questions, please ask. I will answer them in the comment section. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe and click on the little bell if you haven't already. Then you can't miss my upcoming videos and posts. A big thank you to my patrons. You are so awesome. And have an awesome week, my friends. Stay creative. See you next time. Your Tsunami.